dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Caroline Mueller. The mother of 10-year-old Jaden Spicer and her husband were back in court today in Breathitt County. Felicia Gross is charged with murder, accused of causing her son's death, while her husband, Joshua Gross, faces complicity charges. The two initially shared the same attorney. Today, Felicia had asked for a new attorney, but that request was withdrawn after Joshua also sought new counsel and a lower bond. A pretrial hearing for both is scheduled for November 7th.
All right, here we go. Frost advisory begins at 2 a.m. for the majority of the WYMT viewing area. Now, this will go into effect until 10 o'clock in the morning, as we'll see temperatures in the low to mid 30s. Numbers for today made it to the upper 50s and low 60s, made it to 63 in Somerset, 59 in Hazard, 55 the Double Nickels in Clintwood, 60 in Pikeville, as well as Prestonsburg. Here's a live look from the Kentucky Mesonet camera near Somerset. Look at that temperature, 36 degrees already. All is quiet on First Alert Live pinpoint Doppler radar, and this is going to get a nice little break as we go into your Saturday and, for the most part, Sunday. So when you go into the overnight hours of Sunday, that's when the rain chances start to ramp up. You can see our next weather maker off to the west. It's an area of low pressure system, and that's going to be the weather maker for the weekend. I'll have the complete First Alert forecast coming up in just a few minutes, but first we are wrapping up our look back at our top 10 weather events in the last 40 years at WYMT. Coming in at number 1, the July 2022 flash flood. A historic flash flooding caused devastation in several counties. This was after 14 to 16 inches of rain fell in some areas in a 5-day period. 24 flash flood warnings were issued between July 26th and the 30th. 3 were upgraded to rare flash flood emergencies. 45 deaths were blamed on the flooding and aftermath. The most deaths were in Knott County. There was also major river flooding in Whitesburg and Jackson, and they set record crests. Caroline.
All right, Eric, thank you. Car crashes are the leading cause of death for teenagers across the nation, and Kentucky ranks as one of the states with the most teen driver fatalities. The Transportation Cabinet reports that more than 200 teenagers died in a crash in the last 3 years. Those statistics really emphasize the importance of raising awareness about teen drivers. Madison Porter shares more for Teen Driver Safety Week and tonight's Safety Alert.
Teenagers are 3 times more likely to die in a car crash than adults, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
That's a statistic that can change.
Amber Wedding owns Central Kentucky Driving School. She says inexperience and peer pressure create a deadly combination.
A teen is 2.5 times more likely to participate in risky behavior if they have a peer in the car. And for each peer, in addition to that that's in the car, the fatality rate increases significantly.
Basic safety rules still matter most. Seatbelts, speed limits, and sober driving. Jim Peters with Apex Driving School says for teens to understand the stakes, it starts with the foundations.
I really try to emphasize you're in charge of this thing that could ultimately kill somebody.
Both instructors say parents must decide if their teen is ready.
It's a privilege, it's not a right. So I think every parent has to feel the control in the situation to decide whether or not their student is ready.
After decades of teens getting behind the wheel at 16, the state of Kentucky lowered the minimum age to 15 in March.
There was this fear that set in. The responsibility of what I do every day became more and more intense.
The instructors say with that, training is even more important. In Lexington, Madison Porter, WKYT.
Wedding believes if we change how people think about driving and start with teenagers, the number of kids who die every year in car crashes will start to go down. In Laurel County, the London Police Department will hold a Cram the Cruisers event to help homeless veterans. It's happening on Friday, October 31st at the London Walmart on Highway 192 West. From 10 a.m. until 4 p.m., you can help stuff the cruiser. They're looking for items like gloves, socks, coats, blankets, and hand warmers. They say any winter clothing will be accepted. Leaders in Powell County scheduled a special election for next month. It's for a proposed nickel tax. That tax generates 5 cents per $100 of assessed property. For a home valued at $100,000, that's about $58 in taxes per year. The school board wants the money to improve athletic facilities. The election will be on November 25th, but there will be early voting from December 20th through the 22nd. If you want to vote, make sure you're registered by the end of the day on Monday. The Veterans of Foreign Wars State Fall Conference is underway, bringing thousands of veterans to Pikeville for a weekend of fellowship and learning. The event, which is being hosted at the Appalachian Wireless Arena and the Hampton Inn, kicked off today. Pikeville VFW Post 3769 Junior Vice Commander Darren Houghton says the conference is about learning some of the changes in veteran resources, getting everyone on the same page, and socializing with others who know what it's like to serve.
The first part of it will be socialization with all of us within the VFW, and then tonight they'll talk about some of the business stuff. People like to come here. We've got 90 posts throughout the state of Kentucky, so we'll bring in about 3,000 or 4,000 people to the local economy.
The conference continues tomorrow. Houghton says it is always fun to have his comrades here in the mountains. Alice Lloyd College is announcing a major leadership transition. President Jim Stepp will move into the role of chancellor effective August 1st, 2026, after more than 40 years of service to the college. The Board of Trustees has unanimously selected provost and ALC graduate Dr. Charles Marshall to succeed him as president, making him the first alumnus to hold that role. The transition is part of the school's strategic plan. Dr. Stepp will be WYMT's Steve Hensley's guest on Monday night's Issues and Answers. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, we bring you our final memorable moment in the last 40 years of WYMT. This one coming from 2025.
And in the world of weather, all is quiet now, but we are keeping an eye on rain chances next week. Will it impact Halloween? Details coming up.